Like he'll say, when I was a woman, I'll go, you were never a woman.
Hey folks, it's Finn.
And further!
Welcome back folks. So this week's an interesting one, because this week I'm joined by Chris, and we are going to talk today about how we met and Chris's initial thoughts on my being trans. So if you are new around here, my name's Finn. This is Chris, who's my partner, and we've been together 2 years today.
Yes.
Happy anniversary, babes.
Happy anniversary.
So we've never done a video before together, not like this, have we? We've done our monthly vlogs together, but we thought it was about time at 2 years that we sit down and have a chat.
We unleashed the fur.
Yeah, on YouTube, look out. It's been 2 years since we had our first date.
Yeah.
But it was the 2nd of May, 2018, where we first connected on Classy.
Tinder.
Yeah. As you do. I don't think it's that unclassy. I mean, lots of people these days meet online, don't they?
We were busy, hard-working individuals who
Yes.
don't have time to
Absolutely.
date.
People who watch will know that at the time I was still trying to work out if I was gay or not, which I know is quite laughable now. But I'd moved down to Sussex because Mum was poorly and I'd moved here to support her. But you'd also had a similar situation, hadn't you?
Yeah, so I left Kent to go back home to support my dad. That didn't work out, but I stayed up there for a few years and then decided it was time for me and I moved to Sussex.
So we kind of were very similar straight from the off. So I saw his profile on Tinder and we looked at this online the other day and I can't quite work out, but it does seem that either Tinder matched us or one of us clicked on the other, but it was definitely me the first one to message.
Told him.
But I saw your profile and saw that you just moved as well. And you also seemed really like...
Normal.
Yeah, for want of a better
You didn't
word.
want to use the word,
No,
did
I didn't really. But like everyone on Tinder was just like, you know, these ridiculous selfies and willy pictures, which I didn't want to see straight off, you know? So you had none of that, did you? Apart from a cheeky selfie in the bath, which if I can find it, I might link it up here actually, because it's just quite cute of him in the bath.
Isn't it? Surrounded by bubbles.
Yes. So people who follow will also know that I had a bit of a dilemma about how to declare my trans status online. And... what are you giggling at?
No, just waiting.
And I really didn't know, like... because the trouble was, at first I did declare it, but I got a couple of really dodgy messages. And I thought, do you know what? I wouldn't declare my medical history in my personality bio on anything. So for me, that's what my trans history is. It's a medical history. So I thought I'd rather just wait, meet someone, and then have it come up naturally in conversation. But we didn't really get that far, did we?
Oh, no.
Because we were chatting online for probably
ages.
a couple of weeks before we even met.
Yeah.
But then just like back and forwards in the banter, Chris turned around to me and said... when did you come out? Was that what you asked me?
Yeah, so because we were similar ages, I said to him, oh, we're similar age. I wonder if we came out at the same time.
Right, this is the perfect opportunity. For me, I was like, right, okay, this is the perfect opportunity to say this. I need to just say it now, otherwise I'm going to feel like I was holding back. So I just replied, as light-hearted as I could, depends on which time you mean. I came out in my 20s as a lesbian.
He says, I've got something to tell you. I was like, go on, nothing shocks me anymore.
But like, we've looked back, and for me, it felt like minutes. And you know, you get those little dots at the bottom, don't you, where someone is typing? And I was like, oh, he's not going to reply, he's not going to reply. And then his comment back, which is so true, by the way, is nothing ever stumps me for words.
I'm not usually lost for words.
Yeah.
Well done.
Oh dear.
In the time where he thought it was like hours and days,
It was seconds, wasn't it?
I read it and I thought, lesbian? So I come off WhatsApp and other chat groups are available. Flicking through my phone, through the pictures on Tinder, made him bigger, smaller, swiped, just kept swiping backwards and forwards. And then I went, oh.
Yeah. But then his reply told me all I needed to know, really, because all he said was, wow, that must have been really difficult. And that, for me, did it. Because every time I've told anyone else who hasn't known about trans people, it's all you know, they suddenly get really fascinated about what's in my pants and all of that kind of stuff. Chris wasn't bothered about any of that at the time, at least. It was more about like how the experience was for me in being trans, and that told me that he was a decent human being, and that I definitely wanted to get to know him more.
And the spooky thing is, my mum said exactly the same word for word when I told her about
Yeah.
Finn, and I was just like,
Yeah.
but
So-
neither of us were looking for dates
No, I just needed
or
to know.
relationship either, were we?
No, I just needed to rule out once and for all that I wasn't gay, because I was pretty sure that I would still be ruling out that I wasn't gay. I know it's laughable now. I know. I've linked to a video about all this because I was just in denial. Just like my being trans, once I knew it was so obvious, and it's the same with being gay. It was just so obvious.
Everyone else knew he was gay.
But he was my kind of gay experiment because for me it was like, I need to know once and for all, am I attracted to men or aren't I? I was poorly at the time and I was putting off dating. I thought, I'm not going to put it off anymore. I'm sick of putting stuff off. I'm just going to try this. And here we are. But yeah, I think
Fast
that's what
forward
helped.
2
though.
years.
I think because we both said just coffee and neither of us were kind of really being forceful or having any expectations, I think that's probably
Yeah.
why it worked.
Just wanted to make some new friends. I'd already got a couple of friends down in Sussex anyway. Our sense of humours have clicked from day one, haven't they?
Yeah, you'd said some very inappropriate things that I just forgave you.
Inappropriate due to lack of awareness.
Yes, absolutely.
And this is why I always say education and awareness is key for everything.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
really is.
I mean, this is something we decided to do this video today because, you know, we haven't done a video together before. And if people want us to, we were thinking about doing a video about language.
It worries me because I'll say things to Finn privately, controversial, and it's a two-way thing.
Yeah.
And we laugh about it, but there's no offence meant.
Yeah.
But then there's also times when I've said something, just innocently said something, and it hasn't been the right term, and Finn's educated me and corrected me, and for that I'm grateful that he never took offence for it.
Me too. So if it is something you'd like us to talk about, do let me know in the comments below and then we'll do a video on language, which could be quite interesting.
I'm scared people will hate me though, that's the thing.
No, people won't because I keep saying this all the time. You don't go to France and land in France and learn the language. People are kind and respectful and help you learn. And it's the same. If you don't know, you don't know. And that's, you know, so I think it would be helpful to do a video about that.
I now correct him. This is so likely. I'll say, when I was a woman, I'll go, you were never a woman.
No.
So then we had our date, didn't we?
We did, which took a while to happen,
Yeah.
but eventually it did. And everyone followed that day because I was like tweeting about it.
Which I didn't know anything about.
No, every single moment I was like, oh my god, I'm so nervous. So, yeah, we met at Brighton Station. You also know me that I'm a big ball of excited energy. When I'm nervous and anxious, I get super animated, super inappropriate. I have no filter, and I just go off on one, don't I, babe? So how was that for you when I turned up at Brighton Station?
So he said he was outside. So I come walking out, loads of people. I'm terrible for spotting people in crowds and things like that. So I'm looking at normal height, looking for people. You know, like normal 5'10" type height. And I'm looking around and I just see this head popping up, bouncing around me. And then I saw, hiya!
The one that's not gay.
It was like proper jazz hands, that.
It was easy, wasn't it? Straight away from
Yeah.
the meeting, really. Although you did keep giving me looks as we were walking down from the station.
Yeah, so we
Which
then
I now know
decided
why.
to go for a coffee to the Lanes, and I have never knowingly met somebody who's had surgery and done the whole transformation transgender, and I didn't think he'd notice, but he had.
Yeah.
I was he was slightly in front of me and I'd be like,
Trying to look for the trans coming
I
out.
don't know what I was looking for because, you know, I've met plenty of gays, lesbians and people from so many different walks of life. But I don't know if I was looking what I was looking for, whether it was a label or what.
That fell off years ago.
And I kept sort of licking, and it just gotten more natural. Never felt uncomfortable. I suppose, stopped examining. And then we had a coffee, then we went for a walk. You shouted, "You penguin."
Oh my goodness. My inappropriateness was so bad. The best moment though, really, was when I got my head stuck in my jumper. I've got one of these kind of like, I don't know, they're like a fleecy thing, aren't they, with a polo
Yeah,
neck?
for when you went walking and camping
Yeah.
and everything.
So we were sat there, we'd sat and having a coffee, and it was a bit chilly down the lanes.
Let's just say, this wasn't the first coffee.
Was it not?
This was probably about 6 hours after we
Yeah,
met.
we only went for like a quick date, and it was like 8 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, our first date was 8.5 hours. So towards the end of the day, we're sat in this courtyard. That's a story in itself. So we'd gone in there for coffee. Finn was ordering. It's the only time he's got his wallet out. Joke. So we'd been together for hours, and we'd laughed and joked and talked and everything. And this guy said, "If you want to take a seat, gents, and I'll bring it out to you." And I just had this massive eureka moment, this massive light bulb. And I thought, gents. Yeah, gents. It's two gents. And that was it.
So really, up until that point, he was still a bit like, I'm not sure, trans, I'm not sure.
I wasn't even not sure. It just, everything fell into place when he said that. And I just thought, two men.
And
Simple.
again, his comment was lovely, because you turned around to me and you said, "That must feel amazing." And again, there was no comment about any other part of me whatsoever. It was always about how being trans must feel, and that told me a lot. Even when I went like that and showed you my arm scar and told you it was my penis.
Was when you told me where they got the skin from, and I was like, "Oh, do you mean I'm stroking your bum?"
Yeah.
Couldn't
Oh
help it.
dear. So yeah, straight from the off, we weren't like holding back from each other, which was quite nice, wasn't it? So the jumper moment.
Yeah, so it'd gone a bit cold in this courtyard. Lovely. We'll have to try and remember the name. I think it's
Yeah.
called the Plant Room.
Yeah, it's all been
Beautiful
a bit changed,
place.
hasn't it?
And this courtyard starts getting a bit cold, so he puts his jumper on, and I look up, and he's there going,
I'd not undone the zip thingy, so I just pulled it and I was stuck. Thanks for helping.
I could have just gone.
Yes, you
But I
could.
was having so much fun.
God, it was brilliant. But yeah, then we walked past some. We were supposed to be going to. It was like Brighton Fringe Festival, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we were going to go to some of the comedy stuff, but
We never did.
no, we just kept chatting, and then we get near a venue and then walk past it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But there was these like billboards, and you know what I'm like with anything animal like. There was this penguin, and I just randomly shouted out "penguin." But we've since remembered that you also were shouting out "dolphin" because it's on our. Because I've gone back over our Tinder chat and everything, so that you were going at some point. I can't
Don't
remember
know
why
why.
that
No,
was.
I've got no
we were
idea.
being so random.
Perhaps I didn't want to make you feel left out in your weirdness.
It was just so funny. I almost felt like that step as well. Do you remember that?
Which one?
Oh, lots of them.
You followed them all. And we went on the pier.
Yeah.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah, and we were clapping excitedly. I've still got them down there. We won.
Was that the first day we won them?
No, that wasn't our first date, was it?
No.
Oh, to be honest, right, it feels like we've been together 84 years, doesn't it? It does not feel like 2 years. It's feel like I've known I've known you all my life.
Yeah, so we've talked about this, haven't we? We're like, how many months is it? And we go, 6. What?
I know, it's weird.
It's like we fast forwarded, but we are on pause at the same time. It's just bizarre.
But yeah, 8 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the weirdest thing was, at the end of it, I knew I wanted to kiss him, but bear in mind, I'd never kissed a man in public as a man before. I spent my life I spent my early part of my life straight when I was living as a woman, and then when I came out as trans, I was already in a lesbian relationship. So I'd been in a gay relationship and I'd kissed a woman in public, but for me, it was much harder being a gay man because of that real fear of being thumped. You know, so for me, we were sitting in the middle of Brighton Station. Although it was Brighton, I was still terrified. Could two men kiss in public?
Yeah, it's
It was-
Brighton.
I know, but for me, brand new at all this, I was like, I don't know what to do, And you kissed me on the cheek, didn't you? I was gutted because I really wanted to kiss, and then I got on the blooming wrong train home, didn't I? Bypassed Eastbourne, ended up in Three Bridges, which is Gatwick way.
So we should have gone that way and went that way.
just completely like giddy as a teenager. And then the next time we eventually did kiss, which everyone knows about because I did a video and a whole excited thing about
Kissed him on the dyke.
kiss. I'll put a link. Yeah, he kissed me up on Devil's Dyke, which is an actual place, believe it or not.
Beautiful. When the lockdown's finished.
Oh, don't. Yeah. Yeah, by the way, excuse lockdown here.
Lockdown here.
Yes. You
Nothing's
don't have that problem,
changed
do you?
yet.
Yeah. So yes, that is our story. That is
was our
how we
first
met.
date.
We
Yeah.
met on Tinder. I came out. He had no issue whatsoever. But you definitely didn't have any issue once that bloke said that. And I love that's how
Yeah.
it makes
it's
sense
just-
to you.
and you say things to me now when I'm like...
Oh, I know, I'd do it on purpose.
So we're walking down the street and I'll say, oh yeah, at least I don't have to wear a tight skirt anymore when I'm waitressing. Oh yeah. And then water slides. When we went on holiday, you said, I'd love to go to a water park. It'd be nice not to worry about losing my bikini top. Oh yeah. There's times when he just puzzles me. I have no idea what he's on about. And then I think, oh yeah.
It's amazing because the biggest thing for me has been being with you. I've got no doubt in the world about my maleness. Not that I did, but there's one thing. I don't know. I just moved into a different space once we started dating because not only did I realise that I definitely was gay and I accepted that for the first time, but also just to have you see me completely as the man I am, and not be worried one bit about the fact that my body is slightly configured differently. Has just been the most amazing.
It's not
thing.
slightly. It might be to you, but to me it isn't.
Pump action, isn't it? That's slightly different than the norm.
Shame they don't have an app for it.
Yeah, that's what he always said. That was about our fourth date, wasn't it? Do they have an app for that? Oh dear.
None of this pumping it up business. Imagine if you had an app.
That'd be dreadful. Although I did tell Mr. Christopher about that. You know what I mean? Anyway, so yes, that is us in a nutshell. No pun intended. If you do have any questions for us, and if you don't eat them alive in the comments, you'd quite like to do another video after that, aren't you?
Yeah.
So do let us know if you've got any questions, if you want us to do a video on language or anything else, do let me know in the comments below and I'll convince him to do that. But thanks for joining me, babe. It's very brave of you.
You're welcome.
It's lovely to have you here.
You got me on live chats and everything, so there's no difference.
Yeah,
is
no,
it?
it isn't. It's gradually been, from the beginning it was like, oh, I don't want to do the YouTube stuff. And then since then I've been
Now I'm
gradually...
like...
yeah. Oh, yeah. I love you.
I love
Happy
you
anniversary,
too. Happy
babes.
anniversary.
Thanks for joining us, folks. If you want to see more of our videos of when we first met, I shall link you to a playlist here. And if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love it if you do so, because it helps and supports my channel more than you know. Take care of yourselves, folks. See you next week.
Bye. Is that what you want?
Yeah, that'll be fine.